moonshine, prohibition, and the Moonshine Trail in Kentucky. I had the opportunity to interview Donnie Benton, co-founder of Backwoods Moonshine Museum in Beattyville, Kentucky. And he talked about all the stories of how moonshine is made, what it's made for, showed us all kinds of stills, I think it's called, and took us through the time from 1920s to present and everything in between. Listen in on this interview with Donnie Benton.
This is an old still that they used to use, they run wood with it. That's how they built them a long time ago. My grandpa, that's how he used them to make whiskey with. But we've run this one a couple times, and it works just as good as if you was using electric or propane. It just blew our mind. It works so good.
So do you all know very much or anything at all about making moonshine?
I know less than nothing.
All right.
Okay, so
Probably you need to back up to Moonshine 101, Donnie.
Yep.
And tell
Well,
them,
first you got to make your mash, and then you can use corn, rye, barley, just whatever you want to use.
so moonshine's a vegetable.
Yeah.
yep, it's healthy for you.
There you go.
But once you mix your mash up, you got to put yeast in it, and you let it work it takes 7 days to ferment. Then you pump the mash into the pot, and it boils alcohol out. Is what it does. You build a fire in here, and you heat your mash, and the steam rises. This is called the cape. This is called the collar. This is the cap, and this is the arm. The arm comes over, and it goes all the way down to the bottom of the doubler, the thumper, and it distills again. And if you get it too hot, it'll catch any bad stuff. Plus, it raises the proof. It'll raise the proof about 30 proof. Then the steam comes up here and comes over, and when it hits the cold water, it turns back into a liquid and runs out here as whiskey.
Pure alcohol. Tell them about what proof it typically comes out.
It normally comes out 160, 170 proof.
160 or 170 proof?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to temper it down before you can drink it.
Yeah.
Most whiskey, they temper it to 100 proof.
100.
Yeah. Now there is some flavored moonshine that's, like 50 proof or less even.
That would knock me on my...
And of course, the world knows Kentucky for its bourbon. So explain to them, Donnie, how you can't have bourbon without first having moonshine.
Right.
I was going to ask that. Okay.
Well, it's actually moonshine is what they make, but they just got a certain recipe that they have to go by. It's got to be 51% corn, and you can't use sugar. There's certain things you got to be, and it's got to be charred in a new white oak barrel also.
So what they call white dog at a bourbon distillery is basically
It's
moonshine.
actually moonshine.
And they put it in a barrel and age it, and it becomes bourbon.
Oh.
But they have to follow that grain recipe that he just explained.
Now, they discovered that by accident. They used to put it on a boat and ship it to New Orleans. Well, the time it got down there, it turned red. And they would write letters back, said, send us some more of that red whiskey. They didn't know what they was talking about. But the barrels was turning the colors on it till by the time it got down there.
So tell me about the Moonshine Trail.
Yeah. Well, they started the trail, I guess, a couple years ago now. And they sort of copied the Bourbon Trail, but it's for moonshine. It's a lot of smaller distilleries, and we're sort of a bonus stop on the trail because we have a little museum here instead of a distillery.
So you get a passport and you visit all the stops and you can get it stamped.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And after you visit so many stops, you get a free T-shirt.
Yeah.
How many stops are there on the trail? Do you know?
There's about 12, I think.
So come over here, Donnie, to this timeline. And maybe start at the beginning and tell them, like in the 1620s.
Well, I'd rather show them my cow shoes.
Oh, okay. You want to just read stuff. Okay. You don't want to talk about it. Make yourself guided to it.
But these make cow prints when you put them on and walk. Back then, if they had a path more to their still site, they would put these on. And if Reverend would come along, he would see this cow tracks, and he said, well, that's just a cow path, and he'd go on to the next holler.
Wait. How?
This right here is a number 13 jar. It's got 13 on the bottom of it. And all the moonshiners would break them because they thought it was bad luck. So now they're worth a lot of money.
Yeah, they're a rare.
Yeah. Then this here is a dynamite box. When they finally got to where when they found steels, they would just blow them up, or they couldn't reuse anything at all. But in the beginning, they would just chop a hole or two in it, and they knew they could fix them back. You know, they didn't want to put them completely out of business. But then they started doing that. Have you ever seen the movie Popcorn Sutton's Last Run? Popcorn was probably the most famous moonshiner because he was the first one to do a DVD or make a documentary. But him and J.B. Rader, they made whiskey together for 30 years. And these are some pictures here from their still site. J.B. took me there 2 winters ago. And I didn't think we was going to get to go, but that guy knew him. It's in a protected area now. It's a watershed. And they let us go. It's probably 5 or 6 miles straight up a mountain. And here's a picture from the movie. And that's the steel. They use wood. Only thing left of it now is these barrels here. But we dug a rock out of it, and JB signed it. We put it inside the case there. And this is JB outside here with the steel.
With that.
Yeah. He's been here 5 or 6 times. Then that's a real jar of Popcorn's whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
People would kill to have that. Now, right here's the first race in Daytona. NASCAR got started because of moonshiners.
It did?
Mm-hmm. The moonshiners would get together on the weekends and see who had the fastest car. So they would race. Well, people got to liking it. They would come and watch them race, and then they finally said, well, we're on to something here. So that's how NASCAR got started.
Really? I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Now, how the numbers got started, this guy, his girlfriend, said, I can keep track of which car is yours. So he put a number on the side of it, and that's how the numbers got started. Then everybody else started putting their own numbers on it.
Wow.
And now this is Junior Johnson here. He won, I think it was 53 NASCAR races. But he was also a moonshiner. He went to prison for making moonshine after he was a NASCAR driver. He went to his dad's house, and his dad was sick. And he said, well, I'll go fire the steel up and run it for you. And as soon as he fired it up, got it going and got it running, the revenuers come out, and they arrested him, and he went to prison.
Wow. So how long was Prohibition? Like, how long did that last?
You know exact years?
There's when it was repealed.
Oh,
Yeah.
so 1933
Yeah.
it was repealed.
Yeah, I don't know what year it went in.
Anybody? This is a quiz.
Yeah. That's a good question.
I have no clue.
It is on one of these.
Okay. What year? It's going to be a quiz.
It may be.
What was
It
your
wasn't
guess?
that many years.
26, 28.
1919, I think, right there.
Yeah. Proof of state.
2 months before
Yeah.
Prohibition began.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was
1919.
in Kentucky, but nationwide it was different
Yeah.
year, I think.
Well, 2 months before, so that was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
January of 2020.
Yeah.
And Lee County was dry until 2020. I was telling you that
Oh,
in the
yeah.
car.
Yeah. In 2020, they voted the
Wait,
county in
the
wet.
county was dry where all this moonshine and
Yeah.
bourbon and
Right. Ironic, isn't it?
it's
Yeah.
very the irony.
But there
for
was
sure.
bootleggers everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was.
So even while it was dry, there
you
was a
could still-
lot.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
still get it.
It was in November 2020 when Lee County voters voted to go wet for the first time since Prohibition.
I mean, that's almost 100 years,
Yeah.
right? It was like 90 years or
So it took COVID for
Yeah.
Lee County.
That was a cure for COVID. Moonshine was. But people were actually putting it in vape machines. What are they called? That you breathe through and it.
Oh yeah, that like instead of using albuterol, like when you do breathing treatments.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they would put the
Like a
albuterol in there
nebulizer?
plus.
Not. I don't think it was prescribed by a doctor,
Oh.
but we have some moonshiner friends that was doing that.
And they said it would cure it.
Oh no.
I actually got sick, but I don't know what I had. But I used it. I tried it, and I did get better.
Moonshine.
Yeah. And this is my grandpa right here. Of course, he had his back to the camera, and this was his brother Luke, and his sister's boy. This was Robin. The original picture, he's got a military uniform on, and so he's the one that had the camera because they didn't have the money for a camera, you know.
And you don't see a lot of pictures like that because of course,
No.
back then people didn't want their pictures.
Well, that's why he turned
Yeah.
his back. I know it is.
Yeah.
This is called the arm. I've heard stories of them taking an old bed and cut the curved part out of it and use it for the arm.
Like
Yeah.
an
They just
iron
use what they
bed.
have.
Yeah, the iron beds. Yeah.
And a lard can, of course.
Yeah, they use a lard can for a thumper. Then this worm here was found over in Conterry. That's 4 or 5 miles from here. It's a double worm. It's a worm, 2 worms together. But those, they made an old water heater, and that's where those came from.
Ah.
And they would take them out and use them. They add to them and use them to make whiskey with.
Appalachia were very resourceful
How about this?
back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's still there. It came out of Tennessee.
They didn't make it out of
And
whatever.
what happens is when you get it hot, if you don't break the seal, it'll implode. It will suck the seal together, and that's what has happened there. So they didn't break the seal on it.
For a cool eye.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't have a lot of time. 3 or 4 minutes probably. You gotta break the seal, or it'll do that right there.
What's next?
Come in here, I'll tell you a story.
Okay. Whiskey away.
I'm full of stories that just gotta have something trigger them to tell them. But years ago, moonshiners would use a radiator instead of a worm, copper worm. This is what they used to cool it with. But not only was the paint lead, the sorter was lead, so they'd get lead poisoning.
Okay.
And when cars first came out, they put alcohol in there. They didn't have antifreeze. They said in these big cities, these town drunks would carry a real long straw with them. That they'd walk up to the hood of the car and lean on it, take the cap off, and sit there and drink out of the radiator.
Wow.
Don't try that at home.
Yes. Nobody try this at home. It's not a good idea.
Now, here's these 3 stills was actually used on Andy Griffin's show. Yeah, I actually got that print there in Mount Airy. They only made so many of them. But this was the steel that the 2 little old ladies used. And this was the chicken farmer.
I didn't remember that.
To make the recipe.
Yeah.
Griffin show.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch it.
It was the Waltons, were the 2 old spinster sisters.
Yeah,
The recipe.
But there was 2 old women on here also.
Boy, I was young at 9. It's a wake-up call here. So these are different types of,
This is
what are they called?
well. This is called an onion style steel. It's a small one, but it belonged to my buddy Herman that got killed, and they gave it to me to put in here. He just used it for a test steel, just to try some kind of new recipe. But most steels that's made this way, they use them to make brandy with instead of moonshine. Then this steel here went through the flood we had a few years ago. Still has the mud on it. They left the mud on it. And on TV, and when Tickle got married, they acted like Tim Smith made the whiskey for his wedding, but he didn't. This steel here did.
Tickle's a real
Wait.
popular character on the Moonshiner show.
Okay, I was going to just say who
Yeah.
was
And that
that.
was
Thank
in
you.
the flood
Yeah.
of Estill County.
So there was a show called The Moonshiners, or
Yeah,
what?
yes.
Right, that was what it was
Mhm.
called.
Mm-hmm. And me and Granny was on the show.
I did hear that.
Yeah, that picture behind you there, that's the pictures from when we was on the show. We forgot to take any pictures, and one of the camera guys gave us those, or we wouldn't have any.
No.
This I call it a folk art wall. This is all the stuff that people give me over the years. I keep
Okay.
everything. I had all this stuff in my garage and in my house, and you can't tell I took anything else in either place.
Ah,
Now this is a painting. This is General Johnson here, the NASCAR driver. That's a painting. The favorite car for a moonshiner was a 40 Ford. And there's a guy and his little boy in a wheelchair made this and sent it to me.
oh,
Yeah.
how cool. So do you sell the moonshine?
No. We had a legal label for a while, and then we ended up selling the distillery. So it messed us up. This was our legal label right here.
Okay.
Yeah, the huckleberry.
Yeah.
What did you tell me? You gotta be careful. You find yourself dancing naked on the roof.
Yeah, you wake up naked on the roof.
Drink too much of that.
Not a word. No comment.
And this guy here is on TV. He's on the Discovery Channel for the Expedition Bigfoot. He came by here one day and spent all day. We went out and run around in the woods. And,
Looking for Bigfoot.
yeah, he just
That's bigger up
he liked
here.
yeah, people's going Bigfoot crazy for some reason.
Why do they think Bigfoot's here?
Yeah, they think so. but
Why do they think Bigfoot stopped in Kentucky, especially in this heat?
I don't know. I'd be up north if I was Bigfoot right now.
Really?
It was cool.
Right?
And
All right.
I had a guy give me this here. It's a Daniel Boone poster. Now, behind my house over here is a cemetery, and all of Daniel Boone's kinfolk is buried in the house.
Oh, really?
Now, my grandpa on my dad's side died when I was 2 days old, and the guy she remarried to was the great grandson of Daniel Boone.
Wow. Interesting history.
But most of this stuff people's made and give to me over the years.
Very cool. Well, thank you for the tour.
Well, you're welcome.
So much incredible information that I had no idea. I don't really drink it. I certainly don't drink moonshine and whiskey and all of those things. But what an interesting interview with Donnie. You could visit Donnie in Beattyville, Kentucky at Backwoods Moonshine Museum and check this out for yourself and go on the Moonshine Trail. It is a cool place to be in Kentucky, in Beattyville, Kentucky. Thank you for listening. Of course, you can help by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like, and certainly leave a comment. If this is content you want to hear and you want to hear more of it, let me know. Thanks for listening.